I'm very excited to introduce you all to Eric Gillman. If you don't know Eric, he's another Hall of Fame CSP, top performer in the realtor program, used to crush it in the events program and in the residential side of the business as well. And one of the things that I'm most impressed with is, I've been on a couple calls where Eric has shared some tips and some things that he's doing to maintain productivity and to stay successful during this time. And what I love is that Eric is just super good at being extremely productive through the past couple of months. I also love that Eric is a real talk guy. So he'll be walking us through how he's been maximizing his own productivity, both personally and professionally, and actually how to manage a schedule while being at home all day, every day. So normally I love this guy's energy, and I'm confident that today won't be any different. So Eric, the floor is yours, man. Let's go ahead and rock this thing out. And I'm excited to hear from you about what it is that you've been doing. What are the physical hacks, the mental hacks that have really helped you maximize your productivity while we've all been working from home all across North America. The floor is yours, my friend.
Hello to all my Vector family, CGCs, CSPs, FSMs, and reps all around the country. Thank you very much for taking a few minutes to join me today as I share some of the most valuable insights on running a super efficient in-home business. I appreciate you being here today and signing up for the summit. As Jim Rohn says, your level of success will seldom exceed your level of personal development. And I'm here today to add my 5 keys to how to run the most efficient in-home businesses possible. Because right now is obviously it's an unprecedented time. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. But if you check the history books, people who act bold in times of uncertainty and take action will be those who are rewarded when things change or go back to the new status quo. There's a lot of change, a lot of uncertainty, and now is the time to be taking action and not waiting idly for some result to happen to you. One of my first managers, Jeremy Miller, gave me a piece of advice my first week selling Cutco that stuck with me to this day. And Jeremy had told me to respond, don't react. And we have a situation right now which needs a big response. And unfortunately, many people are just in a reactionary phase. And whether that was you or is you or planning on being you, there's now is the best time to make that change, to take that shift, and to respond to the situation, not to react to the situation. So what I did when this all happened on what I'm calling Oh Frick Friday, which is March 13th, 2020, that's the day my schedule, it's like Black Monday, but Oh Frick Friday. That is the day my schedule fell apart for the entire year. And I'm sure many of you can relate on that same week or that same day, just seeing events and meetings and demos just fall by the wayside. And that's what happened. But one thing that I did that I think is now setting me apart from any competition or anybody, whether it's inside or outside of Cutco, was I hit the ground running. I responded and didn't react. And whether that was you or is you, it's never too late to make that shift and start doing that immediately. And I'm going to give you my 5 keys to do so you can start responding to this crisis as opposed to reacting to it. So let's get into it. Number 1, the first way you can respond over reacting and the first way you can control what's going on is to sharpen your axe. Sharpen your axe. I heard a message recently from a manager that's highly respected in our local market, and he asked the question, what will your lockdown legacy be? What will your legacy be for this time of change, for this time of uncertainty? People who take action now, like I said, will be rewarded. So the question is, what can you do right now to make yourself the best version of yourself? Right now is an opportunity to work on your business, not just in your business. So much of our day-to-day and our week-to-week is spent, how many demos do I have? How many events do I have ahead of me? How many service calls do I have booked? What am I doing right now? What's my calendar like? We're constantly working in the business, not on the business. What do my client relationships look like? How organized is my CRM? Different things. And I'm going to give you a couple actionable items. But get right into it and start thinking about what is going to be like when this opens up and things are different, because there's no more normal, there's just new normal. What is your business going to look like? And what are you doing right now to move yourself closer to it? How many times in your life have you said, I would learn to do blank if only I had time? I would learn to speak Spanish if only I had time. I would learn to juggle if only I had time. I would learn to run a marathon. I would learn to book, maybe it's budgeting. Maybe you want to learn a budget. Maybe you want to get better with money. The point is, now is the time. You have an unprecedented amount of time and opportunity to learn a new skill, tighten up holes in your business, and most importantly, commit to becoming a better version of yourself. So, give you a couple actionable items with each of these 5 keys, okay? I want you to do things right here and right now and give you things that you can do immediately once this call is over and once you moved on to the next thing in the summit or when we're done here. So, actionable items of how you can respond, not react. Number 1, organize your database. Organize your people base, as I call it, because a database is not just filled with data, it's filled with people. People with trials, tribulations, struggles, goals, aspirations, things they want to do, places they want to go, people they want to meet. They're not just your next service call, how much CPO they bought last time, how much CPO you think you're going to buy next time, what was the last time you called them. They're not just metrics, they're people. They're people with problems that you can help solve outside of the business. So number 1 actionable item is organize your database. That's what I did day 1. I knew I couldn't do any new business immediately, so I was like, all right, well, what can we do to love on the old business? And maybe that doesn't necessarily even mean calling yet. That's organizing. Do you have a highly organized CRM? If you're not using Vast Action, get on Vast Action. Having some type of CRM so you can love on your people and let them know how much you appreciate them. Why? Why is this so important? You're going to want to write this number down and burn it into your head. According to Forbes, 80% of your future business will come from 20% of your current clients. I'll say it again. 80% of your future business will come from 20% of your current clients or sphere. So now is the time to not just organize, but really love on those people. Because moving forward, a lot of us, all we might have is our relationships. And that's not to say there can't be new opportunities created, and we'll talk about that. But taking that step back to sharpen your axe, the part of your axe that needs to be the sharpest is your client relationships. Because if you can create raving fan clients, it doesn't matter what the economy is doing. It doesn't matter how much money's in their bank account. They will be loyal. They will come back to you because people care about people who care. Okay, so number 2, organize your gold client list or your top 20% of people as well. So organize your database, find that top 20%. And then number 3 is to master your pitch or demo. We've been locked down for 2 months. How many times have you role played? How many times in non-income producing hours, that means 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. or 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., how many times have you stood in front of your computer, your Zoom screen, your mirror, your bathroom, and practiced your demo? Is it 1? Is it 100? Is it like me, a couple hundred? And if you think I'm not doing that, come check me any night. I'm usually in here not just practicing, but practicing with this Zoom window open so I know exactly where to stand. I know exactly when I need to come closer to it. I know when I need to back up. I know when I can start talking louder. I know where my screen is. All these different things. And I'm talking a lot of tech stuff because frankly right now, that's the future, right? You need to get good at this tech stuff. If you're not a techie person, get on board. I'm not either. The point is, get good with your technology. If you're not good with it, that's fine. Just roll with the punches. Remember, respond, don't react. Computer doesn't work, don't freak out. Figure it out. Get on Google. Google is your friend. Got a problem? Google that. All right? I don't have the answers. Google does. So That's the third thing you can do right now is master. Not just well, but mastery. Mastery means 10,000 hours. Mastery means you can wake me up in the middle of the night and say, Eric, give me your pitch right now. And no matter how hard I'd partied the night before or been across the world and jet lagged and took 19 sleeping pills, damn, you can wake me up and be like, Eric, give me the pitch. I'm like, it's going to be the best day of your life when the knife guy shows up. The point is have it internalized deep in your head because we are going to hit the ground and hopefully you'll be running and having it down best as possible. So people, and I appreciate compliments that I get telling me that I give a great presentation. I hear it every single time that I talk. I'm not trying to gloat here or anything like that. But the reason that I share that with this group is every single message that I give to a group of real estate agents or in a one-on-one, I have practiced, and I really want you to hear this. I have practiced it at least 3 to 5 times per time. That means today, when I'm speaking at my meeting, when I'm done after this, I've already practiced it at least 3 times. And I did. Once this morning, once last night, and I'll go through it one more time beforehand. The point is practice makes perfect. Burn it into your head. The number 4 thing you can be doing right now is making personal development a part of your daily life. Will you leave this lockdown a better version of yourself? Or are you digging yourself into a hole that inevitably you will have to crawl out of? Make yourself the best version of yourself. You have the time. Okay, something you can be doing for client relationships, daily actionable items. We'll talk more about client follow-up too, is your 10-5-2. Start here. I'm calling it the 10-5-2. This is based off of something I got from Deanna. Every single day you're doing this. You're making at least 10 value-add resource phone calls a day. You're writing at least 5 handwritten thank yous or gifts of some kind to send out a day. And you're doing at least 2 value-add social media posts. If you do your daily 10-5-2, you will keep moving forward. That's real simple. 10 value-add phone calls, 5 handwritten thank yous, and 2 value-add social posts. The point is, and we're going to move on to the next thing overall, is if you're not sharpening your axe now, you're never going to do it. So take the time block it, make it a priority. So that brings me on to my number 2 thing. Number 1 was sharpen your axe. All those things fall into that category. Number 2 is time block like a pro. Take control of your schedule. Deanna had a great quote the other day on a message. She said that it's been business as usual, but I might add, because we choose it to be. Make yourself the busiest that you've ever been. Grant Cardone says if you want to meet the devil, have some white space in your calendar. Take control of your life, and you have the opportunity. There's no other distractions. There's no things that are going to pop up last minute. Control your schedule, and you will control your life. So time block like a pro. It's really that simple. Personal accountability and time management are a skill. And life is like a picture, like a wild bull, right? Have you ever watched someone trying to ride a bull? And even the pros, like the world record is like 7 or 8 seconds to hang on to that thing, right? And that's what time management in my mind is like a lot. And right now, a lot of you are just getting flipped off the bull. And me too, everybody, all of us, we got put on the bull without asking to be put on the bull. But right now is the time to tighten up that grip and hold the frick on, because that bull's going to try and rock you off. But if you can do it and you can stay engaged and take control of the bull, take control of your calendar, you have an unprecedented opportunity to do so. You just have to stop making excuses. You have right now an opportunity. You have an opportunity to create your dream schedule. It's that simple. I'll share my schedule with you in just a second here, but I'll leave you with this when it comes to time blocking. I want to keep moving here so we have time for everything. You have a responsibility to work right now. You have an obligation to work hard right now, because you have the opportunity to do so. The bottom line is, and this is before COVID even happened, that there are millions of people who would love the opportunity to work, but simply can't. And now, more than ever, there are tens of millions of people who are out of work at zero choice of their own. us as Cutco Vector independent contractors have still an unlimited income potential and an unprecedented opportunity to take control of our businesses and redo or reformat them to a virtual format, which brings your costs down and increases the amount of your most valuable asset, which is your time. So right now, I really want you to hear this. You have an obligation to think big because you have the opportunity to do so. So I'm going to give you my schedule that I've taken on since the quarantine started, because when this went down, I grabbed the bull by the horns or by the belt or whatever you hold on to a bull with, and it was trying to whip me off. And get me wrong, some days it does. And this schedule that I'm going to give you right now, I'm not perfect. I don't do it every single day exactly how I'm going to tell you, but by having this outline, by having this paradigm, this framework, it makes it much easier to make those choices every single day. Does that make sense? I can feel you nodding right now. All right, so number one thing, 5 a.m. accountability call. I started a group the week before the quarantine ever happened. Total coincidence. I'm very grateful I did. We have a group of people, we call it the Justice League, as you can see. 5 a.m. call. So get up, get moving, get accountable, and make it happen. So 5:30, I move my body. Whatever that means, usually something light. I do yoga, I do stretching, I go on my inversion table, I get my blood flowing, and I guarantee that I'm not going to be going back to sleep. 6:30 to 7, I write thank you cards. So that's when those thank you cards go out. So for those of you who've read The Miracle Morning, I'm doing a Miracle Morning-esque type morning. I'm finding what Hal has always talked about, find what works for you. Find the right Miracle Morning for you, whatever your time frame is. So that's just kind of what works for me, and then I do more fitness later in the day. 6:30 to 7, I'm writing those thank yous. 7 to 8, 8:30, shower. If I want breakfast, I can, but usually I'm doing intermittent fasting. Get ready. Facebook post, that's when that you do your morning Facebook post. You respond to all your emails. You respond to all your Facebook messages and comments from the night before. Remember, you're hearing a common theme here. I'm responding. I'm not reacting. I'm not waking up at 8, showering, having to get together, and then 8:58 before my meeting at 9, just reacting to all the emails that came in the last 12 hours. Respond, don't react. So 9 to 12 is income-producing activities. Producing activities that bring in new business. For me, that's team meetings. That's booking events. For you, that could be booking virtual service calls, doing demos, calling past referrals. I've been doing this for 13 years. Somewhere in year 7 or 8, I remember I had this bright idea. I'm like, why don't I just call through these old referral books? I wonder if they're probably not going to remember who I was, but I bet they're still friends with Susie. And I have hundreds and hundreds of names in these referral books. I just started calling, and sure, were the numbers super low? Absolutely. Did I have really awkward conversations with people? Totally. Do I need to get over myself so I can just make things happen? Absolutely, right? So 9 to 12, income-producing activities, doing demos, picking up knives, booking demos, proactive prospecting, team meetings, CGC stuff, whatever it is, 9 to 12 is bringing money into my bank account. 12 to 2 is relationship building activities. So these are still income producing, but they're not as direct. So relationship building activities, personal Facebook messages. You should be sending a Facebook message to anyone who's having a birthday. A video message is what I've been doing lately. Just take 30 seconds. Hey, how's it going? Happy birthday. Wanted to wish you a happy birthday. You're wonderful. Make it the best day of your life. And I hope you make it your best year yet. Those happy client phone calls, those phone calls to be a resource. That's then. Happy client touch calls, sending direct videos, doing something that's going to deepen your relationship with your clients. And maybe that's just continuing to make the phone calls from earlier. Okay, so that's 12 to 2. 2 to 4, I take my lunch break. I call it lunch and chill. Know yourself, know your body, and know your time blocks. I do intermittent fasting. So when I eat my first meal at 2, which is my biggest meal of the day, I used to schedule things at 3 and 3:30, but I was finding is I really need some time to rest, to digest. So know your body. So 2 to 4, I lunch and chill. I turn my phone into airplane mode, and then I go eat lunch and usually watch something cool or interesting on Netflix or whatever. Not saying not to do these things like watch TV or go hang out with friends, saying time block and take control of that stuff. So 4 to 4:30, I get back into the office. I do all my housekeeping. I turn the phone back off of airplane mode. I respond to all the text messages and stuff. Usually I get people calling from earlier in the morning, emails. 5 o'clock is fitness in the sun, ideally in the sun. If you can get in the sun, get in the damn sun. I know not everybody lives in a place where that's viable. I understand that, but if you can, I'm a vitamin D addict, so I'm always promoting get in the sun. 7 to 8, I'm usually eating dinner, and then I'm done eating by about 9:30, no more food. And then 10 o'clock, this is the most important part of the day. Really want you to hear that. 10 o'clock is the most important part of the day because 10 o'clock is where I win the next day. 10 o'clock is my bedtime routine. I have a reminder that goes off on my phone. It says go to bed. If I'm on the computer, it says go to bed. If I'm watching TV, it pops up, says go to bed. Do I go to bed immediately every single time it happens? No. Do I get better and better every time? Yes. Is it part of a routine? Absolutely. So bedtime routine, I put on my nighttime glasses. I'll read, turn off screens, social media engagement, all that stuff. The point is you'll win the day the night before. So stop messing up your nighttime routine because it's totally screwing up your morning routine, which is in hence screwing up your day. Okay, so all that was time block. So that's number 2. Number 3, I'm going to move kind of quick through these other ones. They're short and sweet. But number 3 is double down on client relationships. Okay, people don't know how much you care until you show them how much you care. What does that mean? Well, I always grew up, my mom always taught me, it doesn't matter the size of the gesture you make, Eric. It matters that you make a gesture in the first place. So taking time to reach out to people and let them know how much you care. So client calls as a resource. Be there for your clients. Do they need help? Do they need a plumber, an electrician, childcare, food? Do they need gifts? One way you can add value to your clients is by sending out instructional videos of how to use the knives. So we have a video for almost every of the most popular ones for at least the Realtor program, and these aren't exclusive. You can go on YouTube and put John Israel or Sharp Retention knife video, bring those up. You can send those to your clients, or what I would recommend, which I've been doing a lot of, is make your own. Make your own video. There's like 65 different knives that Cutco makes. You can make a knife of the week video every single week and put that content out there. Don't take for granted that you know how to chop, slice, dice, you know everything about blades and all that different stuff. Share that with people. Put that content out there. That can be your value add social media posts. So be there for them. Send the idiot videos, sending 5 handwritten thank you cards a day. And the last thing with client relationships, again, doubling down on your client relationships because those 20% will produce 80% of your future business is Facebook engagement. I can go on and on about Facebook. I'm not going to talk about it. Here's the point. 3 out of 10 of my last orders up until this week came directly from Facebook. Engaging with people, and 2 of them are out of my area and I've never met before. I'm happy to elaborate on all these different things, methods, science. It's not a mystery. It's one of the largest businesses in the world, and we have an opportunity to utilize it for free. Right now, it's free marketing, so value add, posts, and I'll leave it with this: is that every comment, every like, and every share is a touch. That's it. We're trying to touch our clients as much as possible. Yes or yes. So every one of those is a touch. And number 4 is to control your environment. You are the master of your environment, despite how it feels right now. And I know things have changed. Some of us might have kids at home or elderly folks with us we weren't planning on having. The point is you have complete control of it the moment that you take control of it. If you let your environment control you, there's no getting out of that. So 2 ways to do it is mainly just build, the overlying theme is build systems for your success, right? Build systems for your success. So the 2 ways you can do that is, number 1, your physical environment. My question to you is, have you built your bunker? You're in my bunker right now. There's only one thing that happens in this room where I'm standing right here, and that is work. I don't eat here. I don't hang out here. I don't do bullshit on the internet, watch YouTube videos. That's all that happens in the living room, because that's that space. Have you built your bunker? Now, maybe you don't have the luxury of having an entire room to yourself, and I understand. Maybe you do, and you just haven't got creative yet. Do you have a garage? Do you have a closet? Do you have a walk-in closet? Do you have a second bedroom? Do you have a child's room that you're not really using that much? I don't mean to kick your kids out of the room. No, but the point is, make it happen. Control your physical environment. Make it unbreakable and design a good Zoom background. Keep your notifications off on your phone. Control your environment. And then the other one is control your mental environment. There's so much mental poison in the world right now. So much negativity. And it's so easy to fall into that mindset. So control what's going into your head. Number one, if you're listening to the news, turn that shit off. That's terrible. It's here. I'll save you the time. It's bad. Just don't watch the news. Check the news. You can stay in alert, but if you got news going on in the background, you're killing yourself. Take control of what you're listening to. I'm not going to go through everything, but just look. No news. From 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., I listen to a local radio show that I really enjoy. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., I only listen to personal development. If I am listening to anything, motivational messages, listening to my own messages, actually as psycho as that sounds, I listen to my own talks back to pick up different things. And then, any personal development. And then from 3 to 10, podcasts, radio, music, TV, whatever. But that's about 5-6 hours of good personal development stuff coming in every single day. So control your environment. Just like your schedule, you're trying to be bucked off a horse right now. Grab that by the horns and you got this. And it comes down to the number 5 thing. And this encompasses all of it because it comes back to your why. But stop making excuses. Those of you who know me well, I live a life without making excuses. Most of the time. Not perfect, but that's why I wear these bands, because they remind me to commit to the process. And my question that I'll leave you with is, how committed are you to what you are building? How committed are you to what you said you wanted to do in January and December of last year? Because the environment has changed, but your why has not changed. Or maybe it has, but reconnect with that. A great quote that I like to think about often is from one of my favorite movies, The Boondock Saints. And at the end of the movie, one of the characters asks another guy, he goes, "How far are we going to take this?" And the gentleman says, "The question is not how far. The question is, do you possess the will and the fortitude to take it as far as it needs to go? Do you possess the will and the fortitude to take this lockdown legacy as far as it needs to go?" The universe is testing you right now. It is testing your why. Are you up to it? Will you pass that test? And believe it or not, the results are completely up to you. Your circumstances do not control your environment. Take control of your environment. Stop making excuses. Double down on your client retention. Time block and sharpen your axe. And I'll leave you with this thought. Many years ago at an SC2, I heard one of our legends, John Israel, give a message. And he asked the question that I call the grounding question. And it has stuck with me for over a decade. I've asked it to myself probably a dozen times a day for the last 10 plus years. And the question is what I'm doing right now moving me closer to or further away from what I want? Is what I'm doing in the current moment moving me closer to my goal or further away? And when you start being honest with yourself and asking yourself that question as often as possible, you will be able to control your environment, you will stay more connected to your goals, and you will make yourself much more likely to succeed. So thank you for being with me today. I really appreciate all of you. Feel free to reach out to me on social media or anything if you need any questions. Again, you made the right choice by being here today. I hope I was able to provide some value in our time together. And I appreciate you. You are loved. You are amazing. You are awesome. And I hope you all have a super sharp rest of your day. Thank you.